So in 14th unit, let us see circulation in animals. So what is the main thing which is continuously circulating in our body? That is nothing but blood. So blood is the main circulatory medium which is circulating throughout our body, and it is red in color because of the presence of hemoglobin. So it is a very important component for our survival. So what are the components that is present in the blood? That is plasma and blood cells. Plasma is the fluid in the blood. That fluid contains certain products like proteins, glucose, urea, enzymes, hormones, vitamins, minerals. All these products are transported with, and they are present in the plasma. And other than plasma, there are certain blood cells which are present in the blood. So you have two components in the blood, that is the fluid plasma and the blood cells. Okay, so in fluid plasma you have certain products like proteins, glucose and all present in it. Other than plasma, one more component of blood is blood cells. So under blood cells you have three types: RBC, red blood corpuscles, WBC, white blood corpuscles, and platelets. Platelets are otherwise called as thrombocytes. So these three types of blood cells are found in the blood. Now let us see what is RBC. So RBC, red blood corpuscles, they are the most abundant. Most abundant means they are found in the high amount in your blood, and they are formed and produced, that is synthesized from the bone marrow. They are red in color. This red color in this RBC is because of the presence of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the respiratory pigment which carries the oxygen in our body. Now these RBCs will not have nucleus within them. That is red blood cells will not have nucleus in them. Their shape is biconcave. So this is a biconcave lens shape I have just drawn. So the RBCs are biconcave and disc shaped. Their lifespan is 120 days. And the main function is they transport oxygen. And next you have WBC. So WBC, white blood cells or white blood corpuscles, they are colorless. They have nucleus within them. WBC are segregated into two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Now let us see what is granulocytes. Granulocytes, from the name we can find out that they have granules within them. That is these small dot like structures, that is granules. Okay, so granulocytes have granules within them and their nucleus is irregular in shape. Agranulocytes means no granules will be present in them. So this is the difference between granulocytes and agranulocytes. So WBC has two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes means granules will be present. Agranulocytes means granules will be absent in their cytoplasm. Okay, see, look here, granules are present in the cytoplasm, whereas here under agranulocytes, granules are not present in the cytoplasm. So under granulocytes you have three types: neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil. Now let us see the differences. So neutrophils, they have 2 to 7 lobed nucleus. Look here, in this diagram you have 3 lobes. 1, 2, 3. 3 lobes. So like this, neutrophil cells may have 2 to 7 lobes of nucleus. 2 to 7 lobes in the nucleus. And their role is they increase in our body when you have certain infection in your body. Okay. And eosinophil. Eosinophil has bilobed nucleus. Look here, this nucleus has 2 lobes, 1 and 2. So they are bilobed. We all know what is bi. Bi means 2. So eosinophil is having bilobed nucleus. And they increase in our body when you have certain allergy. In allergy cases, that patient inside the patient's body, the eosinophil will increase and they will fight against that allergy. Same way here, when a patient is having some infection, what happens? The neutrophil count will increase inside the patient's body, and it will fight against that infection. Same way, if there's any allergy, eosinophil will increase and it fights against the allergy. Same way here, basophil is also having lobed nucleus. Okay, and they are involved in inflammation. If there's any inflammation in your body, like if there's any redness or any swollen region, so that is called as inflammation. At that time, what happens? The basophil count will increase in your body. So the main thing for WBC, white blood cells, are they are fighting against infection, allergy or any other condition against your body. The same way, one more type of WBC is agranulocytes. They will not have granules in their cytoplasm. Under agranulocytes, you have two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. So the function of lymphocytes is they produce antibodies. Now when are these antibodies produced? When you have when some pathogen like virus or bacteria, some pathogen has entered, that pathogen is otherwise called as antigen. Okay. When some antigen or pathogen, just take any virus has entered into your body, what happens? The lymphocytes will start producing antibodies. Now these antibodies will go and fight against with the antigen. These antibodies produced by the lymphocytes present in your body will fight against the antigen or pathogen which has entered inside your body. So this is the main role of lymphocytes. They produce antibodies and protect against any antigen which has entered inside your body. Next you have monocytes. Monocytes also play a role in immunity. Now all these cells, that is all the WBC white blood cells, they are actually playing a very important role in immunology. They give immunity to your body. Everyone are fighting against some infection or allergy or if any other antigen, that is a foreign molecule, has entered inside your body. They fight against those particles in a very different way. So the main function of WBC is they are playing a major role in immunology. Now monocytes also play a main role in immunity. They engulf any pathogen which has entered inside your body. For example, they are phagocytic, means they engulf the say for example bacteria. If some bacteria has entered your body, what happens? These monocytes will just go engulf. Okay, they just engulf. What happens? The bacteria enters inside the monocyte and they just destroy that bacteria. They just engulf the bacteria within their cell. That is, if there's any bacteria here, they just engulf the bacteria within the monocytes and they destroy that. So that kind of function is called as, or action is called as phagocytic. Phagocytic means they engulf the bacteria and they destroy that bacteria within themselves. So in this way, monocyte is playing a major role in immunity against in our body. Now, so we have seen RBC, WBC. The third one is platelets or thrombocytes. Now, platelets are small and they are colorless. They also do not have nucleus. Like RBCs, platelets are also not having nucleus. Their lifespan is 8 to 10 days. And what is the main function of platelets? They are involved in blood clot. Their main function is blood clot. When you have any injury in your body and the blood starts to bleed, what happens? After some time, the blood clots and bleeding stops. How this blood clot happens and bleeding stops? With the help of platelets. Platelets go and form the blood clot in the injured area, and that's why bleeding stops, because of the formation of blood clot. That is why it is also called as thrombocytes. So platelets or thrombocytes, their main function is they play a major role in blood clot. Next you have functions of blood. So you have various functions of blood, like they transport the respiratory gases like oxygen. So they help in transport of oxygen in our body. They also transport hormones. So the plasma here, the plasma fluid, it is carrying hormones. So in that way they also transport hormones. Other than that, they also transport any digested food material. Then they also transport excretory products like ammonia, urea, uric acid. What are excretory products? For example, the excretory product for human is urea. Okay, the excretory product for bird is uric acid. The excretory product for fishes, it is ammonia. Okay, so in human, urea, they help to transport the excretory product urea in humans. And they also protect against diseases. As I said, WBC cells are fighting against diseases in our bodies. So they also protect against diseases. Other than that, blood also helps us in water balance in our body. Like a particular amount of blood should be present in our body, and that also helps in body water balance. So these are the functions of blood. Then you have blood vessels. Now blood vessels main thing or main function is they help to transport the blood throughout our body. Now there are three types of blood vessels in our body: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries are thick and elastic. Elastic means they are little flexible. Their main function is to carry oxygenated blood throughout our body. Okay, except pulmonary artery, all other arteries carry oxygenated blood. Only pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood. Now coming to veins. Veins are thin and non-elastic. They are not that much flexible like arteries. And they carry deoxygenated blood. Veins carry deoxygenated blood except only one vein, that is pulmonary vein. They carry oxygenated blood. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Okay, the third type of blood vessel is capillaries. Now, capillaries are narrow tubes. They are present between arteries and veins. That is, they unite the arteries and veins. You can look into this diagram. So this is a structure of blood vessel. You have a artery here, you have a vein here. So in between, these are called as capillaries. So artery and vein is united with the help of capillaries. So the blood can easily travel from the artery to the vein through the capillaries or with the help of capillaries. So that is the main function of the capillaries. And types of circulatory system. You have two types of circulatory system: open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. So coming to open circulatory system, here you will not have any proper connection between the blood vessels. That is, the capillaries are absent here. The capillary is here, which is present in the closed system and absent in the open system. Okay, so in open blood system, capillaries are absent. So what happens when the heart pumps the blood into the blood vessels? The blood vessels will pour the blood into the body cavities or tissues, just like that. There is no proper connection between the blood vessels. That is the open circulatory system. Whereas in closed circulatory system, blood vessels are properly connected. That is, arteries, capillaries and veins. The main thing is capillaries are present in the closed system. So what happens? The blood passes on from arteries to veins with the help of capillaries. So you have a proper blood vessel connection. That is the closed circulatory system. For example, in humans, you have the closed circulatory system. Okay.